Hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for watching, ladies. So, happy Wednesday. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay for me if it is not Wednesday, or if it's not Wednesday morning, super early. So, speaking of super early, today we are talking about a morning routine. So if you are here and you're watching me, this might not be as applicable to others of you that are watching me a little bit later during the day. And we'll kind of get into that a little bit more in a second. But have you guys noticed that when we get up in the morning and we start our day, the first, let's say 15 to even like 30 minutes of your morning, good morning, Wendy, really set the tone for the entire day, you know? If you wake up and I spilled my coffee and found something that the dog left me as a present that I didn't want in the floor last night. I woke up and I still had dishes from last night in the sink. All of these things really add up and start to wear on you first thing in the morning. I will have to say, you guys know that I have littles, and so some of you guys are not in the same season as I am, and you have a little bit more freedom in some ways. But for me, I always have to wake up before my kids. So I am a morning person. Some of you guys might not be morning people. I was actually talking about this a little bit in my community. Last month we did what was called a chronotype, and so a chronotype is how you are in relationship to being productive for the day. So are you that morning person? Are you that late owl night person? And so I will say that for me, I am a morning person. As you can tell, I am here at 6 o'clock in the morning. And some of that is because my little ones are still asleep, and it gives me the best time to be able to focus in on you guys. But also, I have always been a morning person. I get up. I do need a little bit more time than others to kind of wake up and want to interact with people, but I am a morning person. I like to get up early. I am the most productive in the morning. And so if you have not taken this quiz, I will link that below for you guys. And just see, most of you guys, I think, have a good idea of where you fall. Just naturally, do you seem to be more productive in the evening? Do you have a really hard time getting up in the morning? And so some of this is kind of knowing that and then rearranging your schedule off of that. So if you have said, good morning, Carol, that for years you want to get up and you want to work out in the morning, and for years you just always snooze, right? So it might be that that is not the best time for you to place that activity, okay? And so the first part of having a morning routine is knowing your 3 W's, okay? So what am I going to do when I wake up? What is going to wake me up? When am I going to do it? So when am I going to wake up? And where am I going to go once I have my what and my when figured out, okay? And so I know this seems very simplistic, but kind of follow me through on this, okay? So what am I doing? So for me, when I wake up in the morning, I know first thing that I'm going to do is coffee. I love you, coffee. It is something that makes me happy, and I am going to have my coffee in the morning. I'm also going to have my quiet time, and so that might look different for me. That might look different for you. So sometimes I journal, sometimes I read, sometimes I listen, I always pray. But for me, that's what wakes me up. That's what sets my day off in the parameters that I need to be able to have success later on. It's like my foundation. It's what I get up and I do, and it's rhythmic, right? Okay. And so during that time too, I know that I am a very organized person. I like to have structure into my day. I like to know what to expect for my day. And so I'll also review my calendar during this time. And I also work during this time. And so I have allocated different wins for that what, okay? So I just listed off 3 or 4 different things, right? Okay. And so I used to get up in the morning and then I would just do whatever I felt like was high priority, which a lot of times left my quiet time in the past, to be quite honest with you. And so I've kind of changed over how I systematically do those things and the process for them. So I wake up, I have coffee. And so when we talk about when we talk about what that routine looks like, the first thing that I have to do is the night before, I got to prep my coffee, okay? So it already sets me in not so great of a mood. If I walk down the hallway and I don't smell lovely coffee beans and juice in my pot, right? So I backwards plan on that. I always make sure I prep my coffee pot. Very simple. But having that already done and walking around in the kitchen and having a kitchen that is clean, that has no dishes in the sink, I always just feel like when I wake up, I want a fresh start. It is a new day. It is a new beginning. It's a new opportunity for success. And for me, I don't want to have yesterday's messes being brought on to today with my clean and my fresh start. So how many of you guys are like that? How many of you guys always have to have like a clean kitchen before you go to bed? Anybody? Good morning, Christina. So with that, I will say that's me. And so if that's not, something that bothers you, then maybe it's something that's different. I know some people that always feel like they want their bathroom counter cleaned off, or some people that always say, I don't want like laundry in my bathroom. I want it to be put away in the laundry room, and having these systems to where when you wake up, you look around and you're like, okay, it's orderly. Okay. I can work in this area. I can create success in this home. Right. Okay. And so we talked about the what. I was going through the when. I got a little, tangent there. And so what I have to say is that you have to backwards plan your when. So Carol says that it doesn't always happen. I agree. Sometimes it doesn't always happen. I have a husband that likes to leave dishes in the sink after I go to bed sometimes. Bless his heart. But it is something that I do make a priority. I agree, Carol. It doesn't always happen, and that's okay. Even if it doesn't always happen, we do have things that we like to set up for success, right? So with that, backwards plan. Okay, so we know what we want to do in the morning to set ourselves up for success, to have a good wake up period, to allow ourselves that foundation to build success on. But when does that happen? Okay, so of course this happens in correlation to making sure that you have your alarm set. Okay, so I'm going to set my alarm and that's going to be great, but what is happening to make it to where I don't get up when this alarm goes off? So a lot of times I would have to say that we're not getting sufficient sleep. And so backwards planning and knowing if I want to wake up at this time, I need to go to bed at this time. Okay, so that's going to be key as well. So it's not just, hey, I'm going to wake up at 4:30. It's, hey, I'm not going to wake up at 4:30 unless I'm in bed by 9. And that's just me. Like, that's me to a T. I have my alarm set for 4:30 every single morning. But if I'm not in bed by 9, the likelihood of me getting up and being productive is slim. And so backwards plan that and set a good bedtime, okay? We also want to know our where. Where are you going to be in the morning? I know this seems very simplistic, but think back to what I said in regards to my what. So for my what in my morning, for me to create success, I had 3 or 4 things done. So I had coffee, I had quiet time, I had work, and I had a daily review of my schedule. Okay, so these 4 things. And I will say that these 4 things are done in a different location. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I don't have my phone when I have these things because I get very distracted. Okay, so I'll open up my phone and then I'll spend, 10 minutes surfing through this or, catching up on that, right? And so for me, I always put my phone away. So like I get up in the morning, I grab my coffee, my phone goes away, and I do my quiet time. I do my quiet time every single morning on the exact same chair at my kitchen table because I know that that allows me to think this is what's going to happen. Okay. So if you read the Atomic Habit books, I know I've been talking about that like a couple of times this month, but it talks about that. It talks about creating a uniformity in regards to your space and knowing that this space is when I do this. Okay. And so I do my quiet time, my journaling, whatever I have. And then from there, I move into my workspace. Okay. And so I go to a desk where I have my actual like calendar, and it's physical calendar. I don't know about any of you guys, but I still write in an old school calendar. There's just something about me being able to like change colors. Maybe it's I'm a girl, but I have all these different colored Sharpies and I have different things that are associated in different colors. Yes, I'm kind of OCD. Please give me a shout out if you are too. So I like to have all that things organized, and then I like to be able to see it. So when it's in my phone, it's just not something that is tangible for me. It's not as real. I can't grasp the days and the concept of time as well as when it's like laid out for me. And I know some of that is just being like a visual learner too. But at my desk is where I have an organized space, okay? And I also have on that calendar a to-do list of what I want to do that day and a to-do list that I'm working on for that entire week. See, I'm not alone. Christina, thanks. I appreciate that. And so I don't know if you guys have heard about a big three, but knowing that you have 3 things that you'd like to do for that specific day. And if you get over and beyond that, that's awesome. But you don't have to get everything done on your to-do list every single day. So I used to get so discouraged because I would get up in the morning and I would do my work time, but I would just never felt like I got through my to-do list. And so every time I would leave and I would just feel disheartened, like, I'm never going to get it done. How does everybody manage all of this? And so I had some help of other coaches, and they taught me about the system of the big 3. And so you have 3 things that you want to be done and completed today. If I get these 3 things done by the end of the day, I am going to feel empowered. I'm going to feel like I have accomplished something. I agree, Carol, having my appointments written down, because, you know, this little thing, it just doesn't work as efficiently as it used to, right? And so I love that you have a 2-year planner though. Wow. So that's awesome, because how many times do you go somewhere and you feel like, okay, I wanted to write that down, but my planner is only going for a certain amount of time? That's amazing. That's brilliant. I haven't heard of a 2-year planner. Genius, Carol. Good idea. Very good. And so with that, I will say that, you know, for me, planning those things out and knowing that that big 3 is where I'm going to feel accomplished. I don't have to get through the to-do list, but I do have a weekly to-do list, and I can pick 3 off of that weekly and accomplish those 3. So accomplishing those 3 allows for success, but then also I can kind of tick off the bigger to-do list, okay? And so I will tell you most times, 9 times out of 10, that the to-do list for the week will a lot of times get repurposed into the next week, okay? And that's okay too. Like, it's okay if you didn't clean out the closet. It's all right. It's going to be there, you know, next week too. But we're going to put it back on the to-do list because it's a priority for us, right? And so I will have to say that having the certain spaces to accomplish certain things during the morning has created me to be able to focus in a little bit more efficiently. So like if I were to do my quiet time at my desk, I think I would be focusing about work and not the quiet time. If I was doing work at the kitchen table instead of work at my desk, I think I would have, you know, a disconjointed sense of what I was supposed to be doing where, okay? And so if this is you, then I would say check that out and see if you can create different little spaces for what you want to do to allow your brain to kind of shift into those a little bit more efficiently. The other thing with backwards planning that I wanted to talk about is I kind of set myself up for success in the morning from what I do in the evening. And so in the evening, I always put out my clothes, okay? And so I do this for my children as well. I know, again, some of you guys are like, yeah, my kids can, you know, they can do that now, which is great. But I'm still at the stage that, like, if I don't pull it out, then it's going to be a crazy hot mess when we go in there after breakfast. And I go, well, do you want to wear this one? Or do you want to wear this one? Or do you want to wear this one? Or do you want, you know, and then it's this 15-minute ordeal, right? When I don't have 15 minutes, we're trying to get out the door. So even for me, like, I know based off of what I'm going to do, what I'm going to wear. And so the days that I work out in the morning, I set out workout clothes, you know, before that. I set out workout shoes before that to know that, like, okay, I'm doing spin. Where are my spin shoes? I got to pack them in my bag. I'm doing TRX today, so I need to make sure that I have something that's high impact. I need to make sure that I have the right kind of clothes and attire to be able to have success for that, okay? I put that out, and I make sure that that is there, and I don't have to think about it in the morning because, like I said, in the morning, I don't function very efficiently until I have coffee, okay? And so I want to make sure that those things are automatically done. When I was working a 40-hour week, I would, on Sundays, plan out what I was going to wear for the entire week. And so I would have a matching top and a matching bottom. I had a section in my closet for those things to kind of combine together. I'd put all the scarves that I was going to wear on the coordinating days on that hanger, make sure that I had everything kind of hung in a line, and then I had shoes down below, okay? So I knew when I woke up in the morning, I could sleep a little bit longer because I knew I already was going to have what I was going to wear. And so I could choose from any of these 5 days, so I wasn't like stuck to like have to wear pink on Tuesday. But it did give me the freedom to already know that this was set, and I didn't have to like change my, wardrobe 15 times and go back in the mirror and go, oh, I just don't like that, or oh, this doesn't match like I wanted it to. So having those things set out set me up for success. I also have all my water already packed out. I don't know about you guys, but like water is one of those things that like if I don't already have my bottles like set up for me, I just am not going to get the hydration in. And so in the evening when I'm resetting the kitchen and I'm putting away dishes and allowing it to be a clean surface, I just fill up my water bottles, okay? And so for me, that looks a little bit different. I do have like a stevia and lemon juice like mixture in my fridge, and it's already done. And so I can fill up one bottle with that. I put a hydrate in another, and then I can, maybe make a sipper, because Charlotte ain't got time for that during the day. As much as I would love to have sippers, each and every day, I am not going to have time to stop what I'm doing during my day to do that. And so if I want that, I need to plan it ahead, okay? My kids' water bottles are already set and ready to go as well. If they have lunches, those are packed. If I have to be somewhere, that's already packed as well for snacks and things of that. Because in the morning when we're all running late and it's frazzled, the ability for me to think about what I might need is just not there. I don't have the brain space. So I also want to make sure that these things are kind of already put in their backpack as much as possible, or I have the backpacks already set out. So then that way I know, okay, the only thing I have to do is grab this from here and set it in there, okay? And so as much as you can do to make the morning be autopilot is what I would say creates success in my book, okay? If you have other things that you like to do in your morning for routines, for habits, for success, put those in the comments below. Let's be able to kind of glean off of everyone, because I think a lot of us have great routines and habits already. And it might be something that one of us hasn't thought about in a previous time. And so what you have would be great to share if you could do that. And then that way we can all kind of grow together and be more efficient during our morning routine. And so if you have something that's working, let us know. And then if you have an issue, like if you have, hey, I always try, but it always seems to be a mess, put that in the comments below too, and I will I'll message you back, and I will see if we can hash out something to make it be a little bit more effective for you. But I will not steal any more of your time this morning. Know that I really appreciate you guys coming in and listening to me, showing up live. It is very encouraging, and I love the fact that you guys are here to support me. And so if you need anything else, let me know in the comments below. If you have a topic that you'd like to hear for next week, let me know in the comments below too. We'll be starting something new in July. If you are still interested in the boundaries community, that we'll be going through that book this month. We have started it this week, but there's still time if you want to join in. And then the Time for Fitness, new workouts are coming in at the end of this week. And so if you need a routine within your fitness or exercise arena, know that that is here to support and encourage you as well. So if you're interested in any of those, DM me and I can give you some more information if you happen to have questions. But more than anything, have a beautiful and blessed rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you again next week. Bye, ladies.